Would you like to know how to self-publish a book on Amazon, Kindle, and beyond? I'm going to show you 5 different avenues in this short video, so make sure you stay tuned. Hey, I'm Dale L. Roberts, a best-selling author, as well as a self-publishing advocate who wants to show you how to publish books that sell. And if you want that too, click the subscribe button, ring the bell notification icon, and switch it to all, so that way you don't miss a single one of these videos. Stick around to the end because I'm going to show you how to publish to 5 separate platforms. You're going to reach out the widest and hopefully get a bigger audience in the process. We're going to be covering KDP, Apple iBooks, Barnes & Noble Press, Rakuten's Kobo, and Google Play Books. Now, bear in mind, we're focusing on ebooks only. We're not going to talk about print books because I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible. Heads up! We're going to be using Kindle Direct Publishing's platform, but do not enroll your ebook in KDP Select. I'll say it when we're going through the process, but you've got to hear me on this one. Do not enroll your ebook in the KDP Select program if you want to utilize all of these platforms. So for efficiency, what I'm going to need you to get ready ahead of time, you're going to need a fully formatted manuscript. You're going to need it in EPUB as well as Mobi. Some of these platforms require one or the other. For instance, on KDP, it's a good idea to have Mobi. On other platforms like Apple, you're going to need EPUB. If you need help with that, see my video about the 10 best ebook creators. I've got a link down inside the description down below. You can always go check that out, and it actually will show you some options that you can do for formatting your ebook. Get your metadata ready next. Now we're going to need to have your title, your subtitle, your keywords, your book description. Everything needs to be in order, and put it like on a document that you can keep readily available, so that way you can just copy and paste over to the necessary fields as we go through each one of these distribution platforms. Without any further ado, let's get behind the dashboard, started out with Kindle Direct Publishing. Okay, our first stop is going to be kdp.amazon.com. If you have not set up an account yet, I highly recommend that you do that. They're going to ask you for your tax information and how you'll be paid through like a bank account and whatnot. You need to get that set up if you want to publish anything on this platform. It's fairly intuitive. If you have questions, scroll down to the bottom, click Contact Us, and they'll help you out. I'm going to go ahead and click Sign In. All right, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to hit Kindle ebook. I want to let you know, though, I've already published this ebook through KDP. I'm not going to go through and republish, but just for the sake of this exercise, I want to show you how simple it is to upload a book. So just don't double publish a book. I'm not going to do that here in this exercise. All right, so we've got the metadata ready to rock and roll. I'm going to go ahead and pop it up over here. And all we need to do is just copy and paste. So I'm going to probably do like a fast skip through everything. Okay, so we've come up to the description portion right here. Now on Amazon, you're actually able to utilize what's called HTML, and that's essentially a way of saying that you can format this so it looks better on the actual Amazon product display page. I would recommend you go over to dalelinks.com/html2 to actually get it formatted. So we're going to do that. When you come over to this page, what you're going to do is just go ahead and drop in your description, and you're going to go through and format everything as you wish it to look. And I've pretty much already got everything set, so what I'll do as soon as I have everything the way I like it, I'm going to go ahead and hit Generate My Code. We're going to go ahead and highlight this by pressing Control A or Command A on your Mac, press Control C, and then we're going to go on over here and we're going to hit Control V to drop it right on in here. Again, if you're on Mac, you're just going to use Command instead of Control. Scroll on down, the publishing rights. I own the copyright, of course I do, and this is not a public domain work. It's not typically anything that I'm going to fuss with. So let's go ahead and fill these 7 keyword slots with relevant keywords that will get it to where our title's searchable. Okay, so now I have all the keywords put into place. We've got to select up to 2 categories here. So we're going to go into set categories, and you're just going to scroll through these things and figure out what's going to be the most applicable to your publication. It's going to take a little bit of time, so we're going to fast forward through this. As soon as you selected your browse paths that you want, you're going to hit Save. All right, you will select age and grade range if it's appropriate. For me, I typically, for a general publication, I'll just leave this part blank, but if you're doing children's books, you're obviously going to want to select something according to the grade level that you want it. Now, I'm not going to do it on pre-release because I'm just going to go ahead and send it out to all of the different platforms. Keep in mind, some of the platforms will do pre-order, so you can always try to launch at the very same time. We're going to hit Save and Continue. Digital rights management, this is kind of up for debate. This is essentially a way to where you're stopping people that are going to try to pirate or lend your book without your permission. On this one, sometimes it just shackles the readers that end up spending money on your stuff. And honestly, pirates are going to find a way to hack through digital rights management, so I wouldn't sweat it at all. The very next thing we're going to go ahead is we're going to upload our ebook manuscript. Now this is where we're going to upload the Mobi file. So upload that. You find your Mobi file, go ahead and left click on it, hit open. Now by selecting Mobi, it gets it to where it's readable by KDP, and they're not going to change any of the elements that you've already set into place. If you upload EPUB or PDF, it tends to kind of come out real wonky. All right, it's going to process the file. The next thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to upload our cover. We want this, generally speaking, JPEG. Upload your cover file. Select it, hit open. All right, now as it processes this file, we're going to scroll on down here. We're going to want to see how this looks on different Kindle readers, so go ahead and launch Previewer. Okay, so all we need to do is just go through and just take a look, make sure everything looks nice. And you can do a Previewer and switch the type of reader that you're doing. You can do tablet, phone, Kindle e-reader. You can do it on the side if you want to, portrait or landscape, either one of them. Play around with these options. It's kind of fun to explore. Make sure all your links are working. But as soon as you're happy, all you got to do is hit book details and head back over to the main menu. And then when you're ready, you can go in and put in ISBN if you own your own ISBN. If not, just allow them to go ahead and provide their own ASIN to this one. I typically just go ahead and just publish it without that. You can put your publisher entity name if you're doing business as a specific LLC or a corporation of some sort. So we're going to hit save and continue. All right. Now, I've already warned you ahead of time, KDP Select is an exclusivity agreement. We do not want this exclusivity agreement because we're going to be publishing it on 4 other platforms, so just skip having this. In the event that you want to have it on KDP Select, you will have to delist it on those other platforms before you can publish it through KDP Select. So we're going to scroll on down. We're going to choose worldwide rights. When you own the rights to your content, put it out to as many places as possible. I skip KDP pricing support. It is almost always wonky. Now, here's where we're going to go ahead and choose our pricing. In this instance, I believe that $3.99 is going to be a doable price for my particular book, and we're going to select that at the 70% range because $2.99 to $9.99 allows us to use the 70% model. Go into the other marketplaces and now start to adjust the price. And you want to think about how the viewers or the customers are going to see this on the specific platform. So I'll go through and try to get it to right below the $1. Okay, now that I've adjusted all of those price points and such, now bear in mind some of these regions, since we're not in the KDP Select Global program, India and Japan and Brazil and Mexico will not give us the 70% range regardless of where we have it priced at. Once all this is all set, we're good to go here. Allow lending for this book. This is locked because we're not doing the KDP Select, and it tells up to 72 hours to process this. They're usually pretty good and fast about it. I end up hitting Publish Your Kindle ebook. It'll go into the thing saying, are you sure you want to do it? And you end up save and publish, and sit back and wait. You'll get an email from them. Let's go to the very next platform now. Okay, the next place we're going to be stopping at is going to be Apple Books, and you're going to need to set up an iTunes Connect account, and you can do that by going through itunesconnect.apple.com. Get all set up. If you don't have any iOS devices such as a mobile phone or a MacBook Pro like what I have here, it's going to be a bit more problematic. You're going to probably have to look up some cloud-based services that you can do through PC. But in the meantime, I will show you how to get everything set up. Now, it's going to be a little confusing at first because you're going to need to get everything set up here first. Okay, so this is where we're going to be able to access all of our content when it comes to your books and your sales and such like that. But the confusing part is, in order to actually publish here, you can utilize 2 avenues. Now, one of the avenues that you can go through is through the Pages option, which is over here in most Mac devices. So you can see Pages is right here. I'm not going to utilize this area because I've heard some, bad remarks when it comes to actually being a bit wonky when you try to go about this way, especially if you already have the stuff put together. So that's why we're actually going to use something that's called iTunes Producer. Okay, so this is already set up. I've already logged in and I'm ready to rock and roll. So technically, I'm not doing a textbook. I'm going to be doing just a regular book. So we're going to go ahead and left click on this and we're going to click choose. Okay, so everything looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and make this big so we can see this nice and clean. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through and copy and paste all this information. So I'm gonna do kind of a speed lapse on this one. Everything's pretty self-explanatory. It works just like what we did for KDP. We're gonna go ahead and enter all the relevant information. So now we're getting ready to choose the actual category, and you're going to notice that there's quite a few different ones here. You can also just make it easy on yourself and just choose the same BISAC category you used in Kindle Direct Publishing. So I'm just going to go ahead and select this. I'll go over into choosing the subcategory, and I will look for what is appropriate for my publication here. As soon as you select one of the categories, it's going to show another drop down of all the other categories in it. I'm going to see if I can leave this particular area blank when it comes to interest and age, because I usually get away with it on Kindle Direct Publishing. So let's keep going forward. Book language, we can go ahead and choose English because obviously that's what's applicable. Print length, I can go ahead and just go over into the Amazon store and see what that is if I don't recall right off the top of my head, which I don't. And ISBNs aren't required on the Apple platform from what I can see. It's optional, so we're just going to go ahead and leave these areas blank. You'll notice vendor ID is actually grayed out. This is actually automatically done through the iTunes producer. I didn't really have to do anything with it. Otherwise, I just read this right here and it said that, it's done through default and it sets it all up. I think this is because I already have an iTunes Connect already set up and it's attached to the iTunes producer. Okay, and now I've got all of this information set here. I need to see about dragging my cover art over here. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Excellent, the first page is all set. Let's go over to price. I hit the plus. It says release date. We're just gonna go ahead and leave this go. I'm not worried about digital rights management, so I'm just gonna go ahead and click that. There's no pre-order to this. We're just gonna immediately choose it. Publication type, we're gonna say digital only. Currency, let's go ahead and take US dollars. And I'm gonna go ahead and price this according to what I did in the other regions, which I believe was $2.99. We're going to go ahead and choose all the regions because I want it to sell everywhere. Let's hit save. Excellent. Everything's ready to go. Now let's go ahead and upload the files. Now there's no pre-order to this, so I'm going to deselect that. There's no need for that. And I'm going to go ahead and drag the EPUB document that I had ready ahead of time. So we're just going to click and drag that on in. Now I don't have a sample created right now. Should I do that? Probably. I can just end up taking maybe a brief portion of my book, clip it on down and get it processed through anything like Kobo or Draft to Digital or any number of e-publications. I'm going to see if we can get away without having the sample. So let's see how that goes. We've got everything filled out. So if we go click back over here, details are done. Drag up to 5 screenshots here. It's optional. We don't need to do additional screenshots. So in the event that I had something in the inside I want to share, I can always do it there. Pricing's all set. We've got the files uploaded. Let's go ahead and hit that submit. I'm going to name my document. I'm going to put this on the desktop. All right, so it says submit your book to iBooks store. To make your book available on iBooks, submit it for review and approval. So all I'm going to have to do is just hit submit and we are ready to roll in the Apple iBook store. Okay, so this took all of about 3 minutes for it to process. It is a very small file. It's a Kindle short read. It was what it had originally started out as. And now we're going over here to this platform. So if I were to go back into my iTunes Connect.apple.com account, what I'll do is collect on my books, and you will notice automatically here it is already queued up and ready to go. Okay, next place we need to go to is press.barnesandnoble.com. This is going to get us over into Barnes & Noble. So I'm going to hit sign in. If you have not set up an account before over on Barnes & Noble Press, go through. It's pretty intuitive. You want to get all your banking information, your tax information, everything all set. Now remember, Barnes & Noble distributes in the United States, so it doesn't have as much distribution, but it's definitely an option worth pursuing because it is one of the big 4 Amazon alternatives. So let's go ahead. We're going to create a new book. We're going to make an ebook. Let's go ahead. We're going to go through and copy and paste. So I'm going to kind of speed lapse this. Do you want this book to be set up as a pre-order? I'm going to say no, it's not. Okay, so this is the point that we're going to go ahead and utilize the EPUB, and we're going to drop it on into here. Okay, it says, does your interior file include your cover? Note, if your interior file doesn't include your cover, we'll automatically add it to your file for you. If your interior file already has a cover, we won't be able to add another cover for you. I'm going to click yes because I have mine done. Okay, so it says, please review the proof below or download a digital proof to review before continuing. Ebook files will automatically adapt to the device on which they're being viewed. Nice thing about EPUB, it does kind of lock everything in, so we don't need to really worry too much. Just go through, double check everything, make sure it looks good, and just as you'd want it to. If you've reviewed it, all you need to do is click I have reviewed and approve your manuscript. Upload your cover file. All right, so your cover will be shown on your book's product page on bnn.com. We accept JPEG and PNG between 5K and 2 megabytes. We recommend a height of at least 1400. Mine's I think 1500 or 1600 as a minimum. You need to have the rights to the image, of course, so we're going to select from the computer and we're going to go ahead and upload it. Okay, so you're going to just review the cover, make sure it looks good. Everything's set on my side of things. I'm going to go ahead, I've reviewed and approved my cover. I'll hit save and continue. Okay, so now we're going to do exactly like what we did over in KDP and over on Apple. We're going to go ahead and copy and paste, put in the relevant information. I'm going to move this publication back to its original publication date, so that way we get the copyright straight on this. Edition number would be if we've had multiple editions of this, but this is the first edition, so I'll probably just leave this blank unless I'm forced to actually do something. So we're going to go ahead and scroll it on down, and let's go ahead and we're going to drop in the description. The nice thing is Barnes & Noble does have HTML available, so that's kind of a cool feature. Okay, everything looks like it's ready to go. The nice thing is there is a pre-order feature here, so if we wanted to utilize that, we could, but this has already been published, so I'm going to hit save and continue. Now it's time to put the author's name in here. I'm going to select author. And you can see there's other contributor roles. If we wanted to add some more, we could. Let's go ahead and put in about the author in here. And that's actually something I didn't have put off to the side. So we're just going to go ahead and speed lapse this. Kind of copy and paste it in here. And again, we can use HTML. I kind of like this basic. So let's go ahead and just continue on. Okay, your audience will determine which categories you can select. So we're going to select audience. And I'm going to say general adult. Language, English. So this looks like something we can't skip over. This is definitely nonfiction. We can search the categories or we can choose from the drop-down menu. I think I'm just going to go ahead and search. We can select up to 5 categories. So this is kind of nice. It's going to get you to where you're more discoverable in the Barnes & Noble store. So take your time, browse through everything. I'm going to do that here for this publication. Once you've selected all 5 browse paths that you want to utilize, we're just going to go ahead and hit continue. All right, so now let's go ahead and take the keywords that we had put off on the other paper, and we're just going to go ahead and copy and paste it on over here. It's important to note that we only have 100 characters, so be very choosy about what you get. You may have to go into the Barnes & Noble website and browse through their auto-suggest and see what type of search terms that are being used popularly. So what you may have used for KDP may not be as relevant here to the Barnes & Noble platform. Okay, so if the keywords are all set, you've got it ready to go, we're going to hit save and continue. Now it's time to put the pricing. Again, I'm going to match all the other regions at $2.99. You'll see the author royalty per book is 65%, which we will get $1.94. For retail and distribution, we'll get $1.05. Pretty interesting payout system. I'm new to this, so I'm learning this as I'm sharing this with you. We're going to go ahead and hit save and continue. I typically leave digital rights management off. Is this content in the public domain? I'm going to say no. Do you have an ebook specific ISBN? I did not bring one. That's okay. We don't need that here. If you do have an ISBN, you end up saying yes and go ahead and enter it there. We're going to hit save and continue. And last but not least, if we have any editorial reviews, we'll post it here. We're going to hit save and continue. All right, now it's time to review our ebook. Make sure everything looks good and it's ready to go. All right, let's go ahead and put it on sale. All right, so it's pending publishing. It says it's going to take upwards of 72 hours to get approved. Let's go to the next publication platform. Okay, our next stop is kobo.com/us/en/p/writing life. Now, if you're in a different region outside the United States, you obviously want to choose a region that's appropriate to you. Good news, you just come up here, click the flag, and it'll direct you to the proper region. So you want to select what it is. You can see there are a lot of regions in here that you can utilize. I'm using US, so we're just going to go ahead and select that. I've already set up an account. It's fairly intuitive, just like all the other platforms. Make sure you're going through, put your banking information, your tax information, all that pertinent information before you start uploading books. So I'm just going to go ahead and sign in. Now, this is set up through a Rakuten Kobo account, so I'm not going to sign in with anything else. Don't get confused and use continue with Walmart or continue with Facebook or Google. I use Rakuten Kobo. All right, fairly simple. We just need to go in, create a new ebook. Let's just copy and paste, so we're going to go through another time lapse here. Okay, so it's saying down here, is this the first time you're publishing your book? I'm going to say no. We're going to put in the original publication date, so that way we keep that copyright from when we originally did it. So I'm going to go to November 29th, when it originally launched over on KDP. Okay, so we're going to upload the book cover. We can do JPEG or PNG. So I'm going to left click it and hit open. All right, so we've done most of this. This is kind of cool that it has most of the things kind of laid out. I'm going to scroll down here and try to hit everything that I need to, and we're going to grab each one of these regions as we move forward. So we don't have an ISBN, but it's okay. It's optional. They'll go ahead and get everything added in there for you. If you do have your ISBN, put it on in there. Is this content part of the public domain? No, it isn't. Edit categories. Let's go ahead and edit those in there. It says we can select up to 3 categories. So that's pretty cool. It's not as many as what we get for, say, KDP or as much as we get for Barnes & Noble, but it is something. It definitely beats Apple because Apple only gave us one choice. Okay, so now I have the 3 of them selected. I'm going to go ahead and hit confirm. So we're set on this. Let's go ahead and we're going to put our whole description into here. So I'm just going to copy and paste. And the cool thing is we can actually utilize some of their formatting here. We're going to hit save and continue. All right, now it's time for us to upload the content. Now we can do EPUB or we can do Mobi. And of course there's Doc and DocX, but as I recommended before, if you can, come to the table with EPUB or Mobi. I'm going to use EPUB just because it's already kind of locked in and it's kind of nice. It'll work on most any platform. So we're going to hit search. We're going to select it. And we're going to hit upload. Okay, so your ebook content, it has been uploaded. If your file wasn't an EPUB, you'll see it being converted now. So you see if we uploaded any other format, it was going to end up switching it to EPUB anyway. So let's go ahead and we're going to hit close. So it says, yeah, you're actually ready to go. Not surprising, got everything done. So let's go ahead, we're gonna hit next. All right, so apply digital rights management. Kind of the same thing as I had shared before. It's for piracy prevention, but I usually do not utilize this because once you publish it, it's going to be locked in. Unless you delist it and then republish it, you're pretty much set. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it go. Geographic rights, we want worldwide rights because I own the rights to this. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at Kobo Plus. Make available with Kobo Plus. Include your ebook in Kobo Plus, our monthly subscription program. Subscribers enjoy unlimited access to thousands of titles in the Kobo Plus catalog. You'll be paid whenever your book is reported as read. So it's kind of like the Kindle Direct Publishing Select program that someone will check it out and they'll read it. But they also say this, please note that while there's no exclusivity required with Kobo Plus, you're required to keep your books in this service with no less than 90 days. So unlike KDP Select, the agreement isn't exclusive, but it is an agreement that it stays in for 90 days as a minimum. So to me, I feel like there's nothing to lose on this one. And in the event that you disagree or you want to kind of do some further research, you can always left click on this and find out more details about Kobo Plus. So I'm going to go ahead and opt it in. Seems like it's a good opportunity. Make available to libraries. I think this is actually be a stellar option, and considering I'm not going to distribute through something like Draft to Digital or Publish Drive, it's offering it to do it through Overdrive, which is pretty interesting because Rakuten just sold Overdrive this past year to another company. So it's still able to have that partnership. So add your ebook to Overdrive's catalog to enable thousands of libraries around the world to purchase it. You'll need to set a unique USD library price independent of your USD retail price. The same sales rights shown above will apply to your ebook when sold through Overdrive. Note that any changes to your ebook, including opt-in or out, may take up to a week to be updated in your Overdrive's catalog. I'm going to go ahead and opt it in. And this is something I learned through Findaway Voices. In the event that a library has the option to purchase your book, it's always a good idea to set the retail price about 2 to 3 times the amount you normally do, because keep in mind, numerous people are going to be checking this out of their digital library. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to shoot for 3 times as much on this one. We're going to hit save and continue. Okay, so now it's time to set the price. And now here's the cool thing, it is 70% royalties, so that's pretty nice. Set your ebooks price at $2.99 or more to earn maximum royalties. So one would assume that if we were to go into, say, 99 cents, we probably wouldn't see as much. You'll see it's at a 45% level. So that's actually kind of cool because on KDP, you're only being paid 35% at that lower level. So I'm curious to see how much that rate will end up increasing or decreasing should we go past $9.99. So let's try this out. We're going to go $12.99. And let's see how that goes. 70% royalty. So as long as you're pricing your books above $2.99, that's the sweet spot when it comes to Kobo. So this is kind of a cool deal right here. Probably one of the best ones and the most comparable ones across all of the platforms. But in this event, I'm gonna go ahead and keep it the same price as it was across the other platforms. So we'll be able to see all of our royalties based on exchange rates. So we're gonna go ahead and we can probably switch these out if we wish to and get it to where they're rounded up or rounded down if we wish. Okay, so I fixed all of the rates so that way it's all rounded up. They did have a nice little price feature that helped me along the way. So we're gonna hit save and continue. We're gonna search that release date, and of course, we already set it that it's already been released, so we're just gonna go ahead and release this already. So we're gonna hit publish ebook. Now, if we wanted to put it a little bit further out, we could do that if we wish to. Let's go over to Google Play Books now. Okay, so the next place we're going to need to go to is play.google.com/books/publish. Now, if you do not have a Google Play Books account, you're going to have to actually apply for the account right now. So let's go into the book catalog. We're going to hit Add Book. Sell ebook. We're going to use a Google Book ID. In the event you have an ISBN, you can always enter it right here. Save and continue. All right, so now let's go ahead and copy and paste all the metadata right on over here. Add subtitle. Let's go ahead and copy and paste the description over there. Very good. And you can see there's some mild formatting in here that we can utilize. It is in English. We're gonna go ahead and put the publication date. Let's go ahead and we're gonna go back to the original publication date that I put it over on Amazon. We can leave the on sale date alone according to this. If we wanted to do a pre-order, we can always set it up there. Let's go ahead and enter the page count. All right, let's enter in the series name and the number. I'm gonna leave the age range alone here. Is it for mature audiences? I'm gonna say no. And if we had related books, we can always add them here, but we don't really at this point, so I'm just gonna hit save and continue. All right, now we gotta choose the BISAC. So I'm just gonna go ahead and search up for the one that's most appropriate for this. It looks like we can add an additional genre, so let's see how far this will go. So it appears that you can add just about as many categories as you humanly would like to. At this point, I think it would just be a bit of an overkill because I think all the ones I have so far are perfect for it. So we're just gonna go ahead and leave these 5 here. We're gonna hit save and continue. All right, let's go ahead and put the author bio into here. Again, we can go and format this, but I'm not too concerned about it. It looks good. We're gonna go ahead and put in the author's name. We can add additional contributors if we wish. Save and continue. Okay, do I want DRM encryption? As I've stated before, I said no. 20% seems like a good preview limit. I won't allow anybody to copy and paste. We're gonna see what the advanced settings has to say. Show photos in Google Play Books, we'll say yes. Insert a blank page after the cover, no. Create flowable text, I say yes. Show PDF, sure. Reading order, non-EPUBs only. We don't need to worry about this since I'll be using EPUB on this one. Okay, it says where can they pick it up? We're gonna go ahead and say Amazon. Link for printed books, so let's go ahead and find where that's at. It says allow PDF download, I'm gonna say no. We're gonna say yes for allow preview before on sale date. I'm not worried about publisher site or publisher logo. If we wanted to break down each one of the territories, we can always do this, but I'm just gonna keep it worldwide so it keeps everything simple. Everything's looking good so far. We're gonna hit save and continue. Now it's time to get the content uploaded. So let's upload and review the files for the book. So it's content and cover. So I'm gonna upload the file here, browse. Let's toss in that EPUB again, open. Okay, so the file is here, no issues. Status is processing. Let's go ahead and let's continue. Now it's time to select how much it's gonna cost. I'm gonna put it $2.99 like I did in the other regions. We can show additional settings. Tax included, no. Effective dates, we originally published this back on November 29th, so I'm gonna keep it there. Let's go ahead and save and continue. Okay, so now it's time to review and publish. So we're just going to make sure that everything looks good. We can always select here, see how that looks. Awesome. Good stuff. I'm going to go back over to the review. Everything looks fantastic. And if everything's ready to go, we're going to hit publish. Okay, it says congratulations, you've successfully added your book to Google Play and Google Play Books. There you have it. We published on KDP, Apple, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, and Google Play Books, 5 different areas. Hopefully you followed along and you got your books up as well. If you have any kind of questions, post them down inside the comments. In the meantime, find out why you should be publishing White in this very next video here. I've already got it queued up for you. It tells you all the pros and cons of publishing beyond Amazon. I'll see you there.